Well, thank you. I think it would be very important to clearly get Nigerians to separate the critical issues of investigating and prosecuting crimes from the social status of individual. Very sadly and unfortunately for us, it's so bad that the public officials who have cultivated the almost image of that infallibility or even above the law is gradually now being extended to even private individuals, such to the extent that you will see the level of impunity, even on the roads. You will see private citizens, some of them even cyber criminals, the Yahoo boys with some of this money around, driving with police convoy, and not only oppressing other road users, but even circumventing and at the same time disobeying the law and order governing the roads. And unfortunately, this has just been extended to such a situation that once you can hit the limelight with some money to throw around or ability to get on a private jet or have a backup ride with a tinted vehicle, then it means that you cannot be subjected to the scrutiny of the rule of law. But in this situation, like you said, I mean, Mr. Shimugu has not been one of those to be known either in the public or the social life. Maybe because some of us are not involved in that social circle, and the ones that are there, they know each other. And that must be the reason why you have those high caliber of people in attendance at that birthday gig that happened in Grenada, including the current governor of Lagos State. And for that, it shows that she must be known well in the social and political circle. If you can have a sitting governor to be also in attendance at that party. But now coming down to the issue about accountability and transparency, I think it is very important, especially when we can see quite a number of people. And that is unfortunately what we have now with the mentality of the young people. It is about the display of wealth without any show of entrepreneurship, company, family background with wealth, or any source of livelihood that will justify that wealth. And if there are reasons for the law enforcement agencies to ask questions, I think people should have the honorable disposition of responding to such invitation. And I would want to comment the statement by the lawyer, to Mr. Shimugu, where he's already promised the cooperation and also appreciate the handling of the matter by the EFCC prior to this time.
Indeed. The quote, which was quite refreshing because it depends on which one you're listening, you're reading. There are those that are belligerent, adversarial, but this one, the lawyer is saying, in relation to his client, Mrs. Aisha Achimogo, that it is her statement or her thought. Let me just read it. Quote, "We wish to extend our profound appreciation to EFCC for professionalism, maturity, and patience displayed in handling her temporary absence." Apparently, there's been about a lapse of a year between the invitation of the EFCC and indeed her showing up in Nigeria yesterday, if I got that part of this right. And she continues that, well, they continue on her behalf that their conduct, that is the EFCC, in this period, has been both measured and exemplary, reflecting an agency committed not only to justice, but also to fairness and respect for individual rights and circumstances. So, Mrs. Achimogo continues to be an advocate of the rule of law and believes in the responsibility of every Nigerian to be held, to uphold the credibility and accountability of our institutions. So she said all of that quite right. I mean, she's really serving herself, because maybe, I don't know, maybe they saw the incendiary posts that have been out there in the public, and so the lawyers are coming that this might not serve us well. In fact, if you only knew Mrs. Achimogu well, she's an advocate of rule of law and all of that. But Lanre, the other thing is that people are saying, look, why don't we have a standard kind of operating procedure? They are recalling on social media incidents that are similar to some other incidents of money laundering or offenses against currencies that have now ended some people up with questioning, and nothing has been done about those. So they are giving the impression, and I think the EFCC has to be wary of this, they're giving the impression that, as you said, cherry picking who you're going to zoom in on, I don't think that is going to be in favor of EFCC's perception in the public eye. So they have to sort this out while they come and tell us exactly what Mrs. Aisha Achimogu, why she was, can I just use the expression, whisked away by the EFCC? We just need to speak with the spokesperson for EFCC as soon as we can. Efforts have been made in that direction, and they've always come on whenever we've invited them. So we hope this will not be an exception. But people want to know. We've been hearing so much that one has to be careful what one puts out, seeing as the source of all of those things that we're talking about have been the social media. And whoever believes everything they read on social media just needs God's help. You just have to be very, very careful there. Lanre was suggesting there, I think he's also quoting from reports that no less than, a sitting governor was reported to have been her guest. Now, if that is true, straight away, it does point to her place in society. Is that going to be one of the reasons the EFCC goes after you, your place in society, or what the perceptions are? These are the things that probably are making those on social media come down in this sort of way that it's not fair. There are other people doing the same thing or similar things, and you've not zoomed in on them. How does EFCC, discharge itself creditably in this kind of a situation?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've always cautioned against is also trying to become authority on some of the issues where we also lack even the basic knowledge or understanding.
Okay, how do you mean?
Not you, I'm not talking.
No, I understand. I mean, how do you mean in relation to what you're saying?
Exactly. So quite a number of people will pontificate and then come around and make analysis about people that are arrested and the ones that are not arrested. You have 774 local government chairmen. You have several councillors. You have 36 state governors, the ones that are sitting and the ones that are there. You have several thousands of commissioners. I was just reading about the governor of Bauchi appointing about 163 aides yesterday. You have quite a number of also ministers and the ones that are appointed, and we would expect EFCC to be the one going after majority and all of them. And then if it doesn't go after the ones that we have perceived to actually have either violated or abused office, without sometimes even having the evidence, it becomes a very difficult challenge. And one of the things that is very crucial for us is if we find the ones that are working, rather than denigrating or attempting to undermine, then the best thing is to challenge them with verifiable evidence and information. And at the same time, spur the other ones. We have the ICPC, we have the Code of Conduct Bureau, we have the Special Fraud Unit of the police. So it is not just about, so where EFCC is just making some of the efforts, there would always be shortcomings and there will always be limited capacity on their part. So we need to cut them that slack. Some of the questions, very simple. With this one with Ms. Achimogu, just mere mere search about the trajectory of the case would tell an average person that before now she had gone to court to restrain the EFCC from inviting or arresting her. She just lost that case. I think it was on Friday, on Monday, that the case was lost, that the judge ruled against her and said, you have been there to the EFCC before. They've granted you administrative bail. They did not detain you illegally. You had your freedom after your honoring their invitation. So there's no basis for you to come and say that you should not be invited by the agency that has not done anything in violation of your law or of your rights. So at that point, there becomes no ground again for either evading the invitation of the agency. And I would want to also comment if she, on the ground of that the decision by the court, decided to come and then also honor the invitation. This is the kind of thing that is civil. It is not just sufficient for people to then say, oh, okay, because there are others that have not been invited, or because there are others that are not being investigated, then the ones that are being investigated. But I think we're actually getting it wrong. Everywhere in the world, there would be cases where either in terms of order of priority or under the time on under the gravity of the offenses and the availability of evidence. It is not just enough that EFCC would invite, investigate, and at the same time gather the evidence. It is also for us to know that EFCC will still have to be subjected to the court. And if care is not taken, just any case, I mean, it's very, very interesting. When the 753 buildings were discovered by the EFCC, and the EFCC deliberately just mentioned the name of a public official without actually mentioning Emefiele. The interim order was granted for feature, and advert was made. Few of them are active